Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. Right here live, I got Miss Kelli in the building, and we're going to discuss a topic about relationships. Why do the statistics say that 70% of black women are not married, and that we cannot form a bond between the black man and the black woman, which is a bond that's needed because that's how we create life, and that's how we forge a path in the future with our children and next generation and so on and so forth. So welcome to the show, Miss Kelli. How you doing?
I'm good.
Great. Now, first question though, we're gonna do this real quick because, we don't want to prolong information and knowledge can be proven at no limited amount of time. So we're going to get into the mathematics of it. But why do you feel in this day and age with all this technology and internet and people all making money, why can't we pull us together as one unit?
That's why, because of the technology. Everybody's so bent on the technology and what's actually being put out there in the media and what they're supposed to be told to what's beautiful and what's, what's strong.
Right.
So the thing is, I think, with African American women and men is that we don't know how to support each other.
Right.
It's always one-sided.
Right.
Like, especially with men. If you make more money than a man, then they expect for you to take care of everything.
True.
But it's supposed to be 50-50 down the line. It doesn't matter who make more.
Drew, let me ask you this then. Now back in slavery time, the white man would put the black female ahead of everyone. And what they do is, they say Big Mama or Mamie or whatever name they gave her. Mm-hmm. Look, if anything go wrong, I'm holding you accountable. You keep the women in line and you keep the man in line.
Right.
And so it was like they put the female and the male felt kind of like, man, well, what's my place? I don't, I'm being ran. Right. And so you would see it when I was younger. I would see how some of the women used to treat the men though. You go get this, huh? Fussing, yelling at them, and right. You're like, damn.
Because that's how we were shown. When they put that woman in that position to see over the black women and black men, it's because they saw her strength.
Right.
They knew they couldn't really get over too much on her. You know what I'm saying? Because
right.
they can see it. They can see it from a distance that, okay, we're going to put her in this position because we know she going to get them in order.
And you're absolutely right, because in Egypt, though, the women were the hierarchy.
Right.
They had women rulers.
Right.
And all through Africa.
Right. And I don't think men should really be afraid of that. I mean, they actually should embrace that because if anything go down, especially in 2017, you need a female like that by your side. If anything happens, they got your back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even though she might be up here, you might feel like you down here. She's still right here with you.
Okay, right. No, let me ask you this. But do you think that in this day and time, we speak of 2017, that the respect for the black man is dwindling because of the position? Let's say they see a lot of black men. Some are, like they say, in prison. Some gay. Some, in the streets. What they would say, thugging or whatnot.
Right.
And do you feel like it's not a big pool to choose from? Like, is it limited to
really
find a black man, or?
You know what? I can't even really answer that. I feel like it is limited because of, like I said, the media. It's what they put out there for what black men is supposed to be.
Right. They created it.
Right.
But we don't have to. And we don't have to follow what they created.
Right.
So we got to get them off our back.
Break out the box.
Yeah, break out the damn break it.
Right.
And make something happen. We have now. And the reason why I'm asking these questions is because for my black men that are single, who don't understand or they can't catch a clue of why I can't find a good woman, what am I doing wrong? But they don't know the expectations of what the female is saying, what they want from a man. And the female, they don't never come out and say, hey, look, we want our man, I want a man to be like this, this, and this. I don't want the man to be like this, and this.
Well, you know what? That's the problem with a lot of strong women because they do have that problem trying to find a man. I guess when they actually do be involved with the man, they don't want to make them feel, less superior than what they are. So we don't want to actually be like, well, I don't want you doing this, and I don't want you doing that. I want you to do this. It's something that they have to figure out. If you're in love with this girl, or if you feeling this girl, or something like that, you should figure that out. Be like, you know what? I don't think my girl would like that.
Okay, you saying that they should be able to figure out just by the everyday interaction with us.
Yeah,
so
just everyday interaction. I'm not saying like when you first meet a person, you're supposed to read their mind, but if you've been with this person, especially like a year, you should know already.
Well, we say that, you know, women sometimes they would want us to read their minds or actually know what they thinking, and how we gonna know if you don't, say nothing? I don't,
I can speak for me. I know me sometimes. I don't want to, I guess, be negative about it when we have a conversation, because every time you tell a man we gotta talk, it's something negative. It's not nothing negative. It's just that, okay, well, let's make sure we on the same page.
Right.
Like, are we on the same page? Do you feel this way? Am I feeling this way? Because if not, I don't want to ask too much of you if that's not the way it's going.
So it got to be a sense of caring.
Right.
You caring about the person, not feelings, but you caring about they stand, so they
well-being.
believe, yeah, they well-being.
Yeah.
You do it in a way because you don't want to see them broken.
Right.
Okay.
If you want to see them happy, then you do what you do to put a smile on their face, and that's both ways.
Right. Yeah. We got so. Before we wrap it up, do you believe that some of the music that's being put out there helps to create or helps to keep the false narrative going about black men or this way, or can people separate that this is just music and from reality?
That's another thing about stepping outside the box.
Right.
It's entertainment. It's music.
Right.
You're not supposed to take that literal. Look at the people that's actually singing the song. They don't really look happy.
Right.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Right. They not right.
They don't really look like they fully happy. They got all the money in the world, all the women in the world. They don't look happy.
Right.
So you have to be your own judgment when it comes to music. If you like ratchet music, like ratchet music. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with it. But you don't have to live by it.
Right. You gotta. It shouldn't be influence you like you some type of zombie and it's saying go do this and you can't control yourself.
Right.
And then you blame it on the music when you get caught up.
Right.
And we want to, and at a later date we want to get into how some would say that they put spells and certain things within the music, and I gotta dab into that to find out if it's true or not.
But see, that's all about if you have the willpower in your mind to be like, oh, this is music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially like with the Beyonce fans, there's a lot of them that go and they say, oh, she got subliminal stuff in her music. It might be, but you have your own mind. You can think what's wrong and what's right. You know what's wrong and what's right.
That's right. Yeah, you can't be. You shouldn't be influenced by the music.
Right.
Yeah, and look, as always, we keep interesting topics flowing on Verbal Pick Radio, and I appreciate Miss Kelli for giving her take and her drop on, because that's an important conversation, because we have to do better in that area as a people, and especially dealing with our children.
Right.
But one generation gonna have to repair it and mend it back together and take the steps and get in the fight and say, look, we got to turn this thing around. And this is what we're doing when they say, well, people do a lot of times, but they're not doing anything about it. Well, we actually doing something about it, because it starts with communication.
Right.
You converse about it, then it grows from there. So I appreciate your time, and thanks for being on the show.
No problem.
Miss Kelli, and we out.
All right.